Hey everybody, it is now Tuesday, and actually this is page 8. I know the last video I showed on VOIDCIRcUIT was just a couple of days ago when it was me starting page 7, but I started it and finished it, and here it is, right here, and already transferred it over, but I'm going to do page 8. I was going to show you a little bit of coloring, or how I color lately. I use a layer down at the bottom and I switch it to multiply. Now that I understand what that setting means. I'm using, for this comic, I use this specific palette called Pastel Galaxy. And you can see it's a pretty wide-ranging palette. It has a number of different looks to it. One of the main colors here is this pink color, and I say it's the main color because the interiors of the space station are all the same color throughout the whole comic. So let me use the I use the syrup brush, and as long as you have your brush set to multiply, or the layer set to multiply, that's this setting here, it's on M. No matter where you put this layer of color, it will not interfere with your inks. It won't go over the inks. It will just sit nicely as a coloring layer. So we're going to do the whole thing. Boom. And then it's a matter of just kind of carving out the character inside. Now this is meant to be what's happened in the last page. This is the final page, by the way. This comic is done after I finish this. Is that after she got to the point of inquiring about what happened to the gladiators, the hologram breaks, the lights go out, and she feels like something's watching her. And she decides to leave immediately. So she's running out. But also the lights have gone out, so it's dark inside the space station. I can do this with white. I'm going to do it with eraser, though. There's a little nimbus of light around Glimmer, the little alien blob thing. And so we're going to use some smudge to make the white light act as her beacon, I guess. And this also gives us a notion of where the light source is on the page. Now, complicating matters slightly as I put this tone here, which is meant to sort of stand for darkness. But if I want to put some actual like shading there, it's going to be on another layer, which is the cell shading layer, which is going to be kind of a dark purple. It'll cover the darkness. You'll see what I mean in a second. We're going to get there. All right, other standard colors. Her spacesuit is this color. This sort of greenish gray. It's another lightish color. And it's this color with another sort of mauve or pinkish highlights, like magenta highlights. And just as a quick run through, the palette looks good. Like, it looks really consistent across the entire comic. So when you're paging through, it's like, oh, everything looks really consistent. So I'm sticking to this strategy. For this comic. Oh, by the way, I forgot. This is on my old iPad. So this is the one that occasionally runs out of memory and the Procreate crashes. It's still usable, but I have replaced it. So this will be probably the last project that I intentionally do on this iPad. I think I might have a couple of final illustrations I'm doing for VOIDCIRcUIT that I still owe them, and those might end up being on this iPad as well. I like getting in close like this because I can see all the errors that I have to fix. Like I've got tones going over the line here, just little tiny things. Like you can see right over here, just goes right over the line. And noticing that is helpful. All right, let's go back to the spacesuit. So one thing I would recommend if you're going to learn coloring, and I'm not an expert by any means, my favorite colorist is Jake the artist, who you can find on YouTube as Heavy Oscillators. Pretty much the only other colorist I want to work with. He did the Tarzan one, did a great job on it. I really like his approach to it. It's different than mine. This is very self-taught. And I really don't know if I'm doing it right. I just know that it works and it works for me, so that's why I'm sticking with it. Alright, let's fix this up a little bit. But like he would add stuff to things in the coloring that were unexpected that I would not have thought of. I think I gotta make my smudger a little bit smaller. Baller. Okay, now remember her skin tone is not the very lightest blue, but the second lightest blue. So let's do that one. There is no white ink, right? So you gotta, this is another thing that when you're working with comics, you have to assume a certain amount of effect from the printing and the color of the paper. And actually in this case it's specifically being set up for newsprint, which is an off gray, sometimes manila colored paper that yellows over time and tends to dull colors. So you can go brighter with colors as long as you're consistent. Let me get the accent color is this color, the second pink. She has an accent color here. She's got an accent on the back of the glove, an accent on the forearm area. There's another one up here. And then these square things are accent colors as well. And this same color right here, the second pink, is also used on Glimmer. He's like a little bubblegum blob of protoplasm. There he is. Okay. Oh, same color, this pink color also is used on the visor of the helmet. So this is a pretty good example of like, you can get a lot done with just, how many colors have I got used here? 1, 2, 3, 4, counting the blue, and 5 counting the white, right? So, but really just 4 colors, and we've got, you know, a pretty good thing. Now let me show you how you do the cell colors, and then we'll end the video. So you use another layer, also set it to multiply, boom, and you're going to grab the darkest purple in there, and same deal. And this just becomes the shading, so you can see Glimmer is slightly behind her, so we can put shadow in front of her. Oh, but we want to reduce the opacity down to about 35%, maybe 30%. Let's do it at 32. So you can see that it gives... The great thing about the purple is no matter what color you put it on, even over the white, it seems to adapt fine to it. This works much better than black, in my opinion. And this is a shadow, this is a shadow. Since Glimmer is in front, the shadow is, I mean, his Glimmer is behind, the shadow's in front, right? We put the shadow on this side of her arm, on this side of her arm, this part of her torso. Now we could also do some highlight colors, which I don't know if I'm going to get into on this video. But you can see we've added a whole other set of dimensionality. And we're only using one extra color. I always put a little shading on him too. Now what about these shades underneath her? Well, same color. Like this. And then same deal here. Whoops. Oh, gotta put it right here. So now we've got this dramatic dark area. Let it fill. Actually, whoops. And then it's just a matter of cleaning up the edges. Just make your edges look nice. Now this is the epitome of quick and dirty. This is not standing on circumstance. This is not trying to make this look overly complicated or putting a lot of sort of extra effort into. In my opinion, that's kind of the riddle of comics. It's a periodical art form that thrives on speed and shorthand. And not everyone agrees with me on that. If you want to create your magnum opus, but this shorthand is what gives comics its unique and signature look. You know, same deal with the newsprint. Newsprint is cheap. It's gray, but that's the look, right? So, oh, let's do some more shading. We'll fix her hair a little bit. And we drop right out, and there we go. That's a workable panel right there as far as color goes. We could do a highlight color. Let's do a real quick highlight color to show you where I would put it. I'd probably use not any of the colors in this palette. I've got this other yellow palette. And actually this palette right here, I like this yellow right here. So we could go over onto the color area. And pick out some highlights. Your highlight color could be different colors. I like this yellow. It seems to work with everything here. And you don't have to do too much with it. Look, we might put a little highlight on the wall. I don't know. Don't have to go too heavy with it. Okay, so that's my coloring tutorial. Not much to it, is there? Please like, follow, and subscribe. This will definitely get done today. And this comic right now is done. It ends on this page. All around is the mystery of the universe. Simulation halted. Void circuit. We're going to do some special effects with this rocket trail from the spaceship as it's leaving the tomb. But there will be a new comic getting started very soon. As in tomorrow, or maybe even tonight. We'll see. So please like, follow, and subscribe, and there will be more comics every day.